Hello, everyone. My name is Dina Helen Isoka, the Secretary in charge of Security and Strategic Affairs of LILIPAC, the African Liberation Movement in Cameroon. I'm here to talk on something that we all know about, the elections. I'm just wondering what is happening to my fellow Cameroonians who have been through a lot over the years. We have been working very hard to have a genuine change. We have been working very hard to replace Mr. Biya's regime with a competent regime, a regime that will not ignore us, a regime that will pay attention to our cries, a regime that will listen to our people, a regime that will definitely change ministers when they are involved in corruption cases, not after 20 years. Surprisingly, we have all forgotten about it, under the pretext that we should try with the devil, and that Issa Chiroma is the best devil for now. Some intellectuals even go as far as relying on a priest's prophecy. If these priests were really priests sent by God, they would have made prophecies or better prophecies for 43 years. Today they rise up and say something, and intellectuals, those I trusted, their intellect, are believing in a prophecy. It's very unfortunate that we have refused to see. When Kamto left Paris and came to Cameroon, he wasn't even allowed to get out of his car for his party members to welcome him. He was denied this pleasure. Kamto tried on several occasions to hold meetings. Nobody would let him hold the meeting. He tried to use other parties to be candidates. They wouldn't let him use any party. And at the eve of the election, his two ministers, Bello Buba and Issa Chiroma, resigned from the government and tell you they want to make this long-awaited change. And you suddenly fall for that. Buba Bello and Issa Chiroma had the opportunity all these years. We have had several elections where they could walk away, where Cameroonians were actually crying and dying. They could walk away and stand with the people, as he's doing today, and say no to Biya anymore. They did not do it. They didn't. Because they thought of themselves. And because they know the truth, they know that under normal circumstances, they cannot win Biya. So they refuse to sacrifice their positions, their ministerial positions, for you. And they accompanied him in 2011, in 2018. And in 2025, When they get to 80 years, they come out and say they want to make a change in the country, and you believe it. Issa and Buba are no longer the problem. You are the problem. Yes, you are. How can you carry a baggage for 43 years? And at the end of it, it's more than you to carry to get the real victory. You refuse to ask yourself questions. Pertinent questions that should be asked by any right-thinking Cameroonian right now. You have refused to ask yourself these questions. Number one, how will Mr. Biya, that you and me know, how will the CPDM regime that you and me know, how will Atanganji that you and me know, how will Ngongo that you and me know, sit down, watch Issa Chiroma hold beautiful meetings, let policemen walk him through, protect him, all the crowd is coming out. They watch him and they're saying nothing. And you think it's because he's from the north. That's the most foolish thing I heard on the social media. Oh, because he's from the north, they don't joke with the northerners. So were they not northerners for 43 years? Have we not had northerners for 43 years? Don't get me wrong. Some people say, oh, do you have anything against the north? I don't have anything against the north. I'm married to a northerner. I should be glad now and celebrating that power is coming to us. But I'm not, because I'm not going to stand for lies. I'm not going to watch Cameroon be built with lies. I'm not going to watch Cameroon go through a fake change, because I have kids. They may not be in Cameroon today, but that's where they come from. And definitely they'll have to go back there one day. That's why I'm dying for genuine change. My life is behind me. I say this all the time. I've done what I could do on earth. I've gone to school. I've had jobs. I've created businesses. I've impacted the community with a lot of non-profit work. Canada recognizes me, and even Cameroon recognizes me for not-profit work. I've done a lot of charity work out there. I don't have any other thing to prove to the world anymore. But I stand for true change. And I'm not going to dance around. I see people, when they hear that this person is popular, they jump to the person. They hear that this one is popular, they jump to that person. I'm not going to do that, because I'm not looking for any ministerial position. I'm not looking for anything. I'm so self-reliant that I don't need to be employed by any government to showcase my skills. I can't be self-employed all the time. I create companies here like you're taking breakfast. I get up in the morning, the moment I think of anything that can work, I just start doing it. I don't need any government to employ me anymore. My kids are all independent. They don't need me coming to give them money. They can, even if they don't have the money, they know what they can do to get the money. It's all about you. It's all about you, and you yourselves don't care. Now, if you don't know about Issa Chiroma's political steps are guided by CPDM, because that's where he belongs. He has several videos that we have posted to make you know that this man took his engagement. He made a commitment that he's going to accompany Biya to the end. And even if Biya presents himself as candidate in 2025, Issa Chiroma clearly declared in videos that have been circulating that he is going to accompany Biya without thinking even. You still argue. You still question this. He himself should be laughing because he's never met some kind of people like you. He should be laughing at you. That's a man who on several occasions said there is no Anglophone problem. He doesn't see why that. He made it clear that the so-called thing in Northwest and Southwest doesn't really it's not really important. And today I see people from Southwest and Northwest too saying, oh, Issa Chiroma, our president. You'll be disgraced on the 12th. You'll be so ashamed that you may have to leave social media on the 12th. Because he's not going to win any elections. Have you asked yourself that a regular working minister who is supposed to have a salary and who had family members all this while, and whom we believe was supposed to be helping people of this same north who are dying for him today, but he did not help them, should have so much money to be distributing in the north? Did you ask him where he got that money from? You don't ask questions because all you want is the better devil. I see most of you, Mayor Diab, but this is the better evil one. No, we're not going to go in, we're not going to settle for less this time. We're going to work very hard to make sure that we get the right thing. When you look at countries like Mali, you look at countries like Burkina Faso, look at the development that is taking place because those people decided to stand for truth. Yes. They did not want to manage anything anymore. If you look at people who are screaming on social media and saying, oh, we don't mind it, we'll manage it for a while, they are just looking for ministerial positions. There are some people who have watched them over time on social media. Today this leader comes, oh, c'est lui. This other leader comes tomorrow, oh, they don't have any stable minds. Those are all his supporters. They look like he himself, because he himself doesn't have a stable mind. Today is here, tomorrow is there. How do you deal with such a person who has no personality? And most of his supporters on social media have no personality. Today they are here, tomorrow they are there. Tomorrow they are there, tomorrow they are here. We are looking for the better devil. Issa is not your better devil. Have you asked yourselves that Mr. Biya watches? Let's say you say his mind is not stable because of his age, maybe he doesn't know what is going on. Okay, that's fine. But his wife is there for him. His wife is his eye. Chantal is his eye. Chantal watches on TV and sees the crowd that came out in Betwa. That's supposed to be where Chantal comes from. The crowd that came out in the north. I mean, all these places that this so-called presidential candidate is going to. Chantal watches all of this and folds her arms, packs her bag, accompanies the husband for a private visit in Switzerland. And you're clapping. And you're clapping. Have you ever thought of the fact that those people will prefer to pour their blood out than to watch you take power? Go there, arrest them, bring all sorts of files against them, throw them in jail. Have you ever thought of the fact that they won't let you do that? Has that ever crossed your mind? But Biya, as usual, despised you all, quietly took his plane and walked away. a few days to elections because he doesn't even need to be there. He can vote from anywhere. Biya can even go to the embassy in Switzerland and vote. Biya can sit in a room in his hotel in Switzerland and say, I am doing the campaign, or some other person. Today we have artificial intelligence. They might just put his picture and write some words, and AI will do the rest. And on the 12th of October, Biya will be declared the winner. And you're going to do nothing. Yes. I hear some people say, oh, Issa Chiroma will take people to the streets. He's very bold. He's courageous. He's just mouthy. That's why they gave him that role, because of his mouth. He talks more. Buba could not be given that role. Both of them have the same mission. Go to the north, disperse the votes in the north. At least divide the votes into two. Let some go to Bello and some will go to Issa. That's already, that's already a division. Because if all of Extreme North have to vote for one person, it's going to have an impact. So go you there. Other parties may come and take a little bit of it. So that's already fine. It works for everybody. They take a little bit of it. Now, the greater part that will be left, because Northerners, it's about le pouvoir rent or no. It's about the ethnic kind of thing coming up. So let's give them that chance that 20% will go to those other parties. Now 80% is left. Even if Issa takes 50%, 30% will definitely go to Buba Bello. So they've done their best to divide the north. Meanwhile, if Buba was not existing, just Issa, 80% could probably go to Issa. Now the system has succeeded to divide north into two. North is not going to come out with what they expected. Yes. And you have no eyes to see that. Those two ministers are working on instructions from CPDM to destabilize opposition in the north. That's what they are doing. And that is why you will sing your song of coalition from today to tomorrow. Those two people cannot go together. They know that if they go together, violating the instructions from the system, they're going to go to jail. Yes, their files are there. You cannot work as a minister in Cameroon government for 20 years. And you think that if the security services put their legs down and go to their ministry, they will not find one thing that will incriminate you. You are a liar. Not the security service I know in that Cameroon. They will pick up one thing that will definitely incriminate you. And of course, there are little files here and there, especially for Issa. Especially for Issa. And he knows it very well. He came up with a fake story that the DGRA came to him and told him, if you don't stop it, we are going to bring out your file or whatever. DGRA never works like that. That's fake. They don't work like that. If they want to neutralize you, they know how to do it. They'll go very quietly, bring out all your files, and they start giving you invitations here and there. You go to the gendarmerie, you go to the police, you go here and answer questions, and they're taking their statements down. That's what they do. They will not come to our office to tell you, if you don't stop, we'll do this. They don't do that. There's no DGRA that does that. That's a big lie. And because this guy is a liar, that you all know that he's a liar. He's always lied. He lies all the time. All his communications. You could be a minister and support Biya. We don't have any problem with that. And be quiet and close this thing. Instead of boldly, Biya did not send anybody to lie. He did not. Only zealous ministers decide to open their mouth and talk nonsense in the presence of people and can come back to say they want to be the president of that country. That's not going to happen. Yes, only zealous minister. Have you asked yourself, how many times has Laurent Esso opened his mouth to talk nonsense against the people or to say anything, that will annoy people. How many times has Lawrence spoken? Other ministers, even only zealous ministers carry themselves around and talk things that nobody sent them to talk. Because that's who they are. And so when they know that that's their weakness, they take you and use you for that purpose. So I want you to ask yourself these questions today. Where did Issa Chiroma get the money to spread in the north as he's doing now? If Biya was threatened, Biya wouldn't take his plane and walk away to Switzerland in the most peaceful way that you can think of. CPDM will be doing something else now if they knew that they were threatened. They are not threatened by you people. Come out in all those crowds, you're wasting your time because they know the game. Results have been prepared, and you will see how many of these candidates will stand up on the 12th to say, well, for the sake of peace, Biya has won, we don't want bloodshed. He's an old, our old leader. We've tolerated him for 43 years. Just let him take this thing. We know that he cannot take it to the 7th year. Don't worry. Let's preserve our peace. Let's not shed blood. And that will be it. And the few people who will try to say, no, we're coming out. No, it's Issa Chiroma who won. They know where they will end up. And you will have nothing to say because the international community is right there in Cameroon. And they're watching how you have accepted to legitimize these elections. You are not complaining that there is fraud. You are not complaining even about the electoral list. All the 12 candidates are just going with the flow. The 11 candidates, nobody is complaining that, oh, there's no proper electoral list. Nobody is talking anything. And the international community is right there in Cameroon watching. You will not come after the elections to say, oh, you won. Biya will be sworn in November. And you will retire after 1 or 2 months into your homes and keep quiet as usual. That's why we, members of Lily Park, have said we don't recognize these elections. We don't. These elections are not free and fair, so we don't recognize these elections. We didn't see any proper electoral list. Besides, Kanto, other people were eliminated with no just cause. So a LECAM on its own is not a satisfactory organization or institution. The Constitutional Council is not a proper one for now. We need to go through a transition, make reforms, reorganize elections, which will be free and fair for all competent candidates. Yes, that's what the plan is. And I want to seize this opportunity to thank my servant leader, Professor Franklin Yamsi, who came up with this brilliant idea to say, elections are not valid. These elections are not valid, and so we should forget about the elections of October 12, 2025. Let's look forward to a national mobilization where everybody will come together and ask Biya to give way for real Cameroonians to manage their country the way they want to. Let's, for once, choose our own leader. Professor Yamsi is not asking you to choose him as your leader. He's asking you to give him the opportunity to restore dignity into your community. And that can only be done through a national mobilization. After that, everybody will sit down and you will choose your leader. You will choose who is competent enough to manage you. That's what we are looking for. I salute the entire community of Lily Park. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for having these real eyes to see the exact situation in Cameroon. You are great people. All those who are Lily Park members, I give you this hand. You're great people because you're wise. And to our team, our Secretary General, our dynamic Secretary General, Corina Tangane, take your hand. You deserve it for the hard work. I know what you're putting in there. Dr. Mugu, our Secretary in charge of Humanitarian Affairs, I know what you keep in stock for your people. And the fight is going on in the right direction. For our young Adrian Kala, I salute you. The work you are doing out there for the youths to make them create awareness, to make them understand that you are ready to fight for it and get what truly belongs to you. This generation must live. This generation must live to rule the country. The 80-year generation has come to an end. You cannot come back and say you want to be president. These young people have been to school. They've gone to school. They've learned. They've studied. We are here to guide them. We are here to guide them. You can't come and take what belongs to them. 80 years and above, leave the scene. The game is over for you. Learn to leave the scene after you have enjoyed more than enough in your air-conditioned offices. Learn to leave the scene. And lastly, to the security officers, my dear colleagues, I trust you. I know the pressure you are going through. But I know that when the time will come, when we will come out in numbers to march to a today, you're going to accompany us. Because this victory is not only going to be for us, it's going to be for you and us. Because at the end of the day, we are going to organize what? A civilian military rule where we will put things straight before letting it out again. Otherwise, Cameroon is crumbling. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you have learned something today. Make wise decisions. 12th of October is not a date for us. 12th of October is not a date for real Cameroonians. It's for those who want to play around. Because Biya is a winner. He knows it. You know it. I know it. So there is no better devil. Whether you choose Issa Chiroma or not as your better devil, there's nothing happening. And anything you try on that day, you'll be considered as people who want to destabilize the country. And the system will take action as usual. And there's nothing you are going to do, you know that very well. So this is the time to abandon Biya to himself. Isolate the man who disrespects you. Don't listen to his things. Don't go for his elections. He has shown the world, he has shown you that you mean nothing to him. He walks away at you. He doesn't talk to you. He doesn't do any campaign. And he'll be voted by you. I think it's time to tell him it's over. Thank you, Cameroonians, and I trust you for your wisdom.